Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. Welcome to the best show that comes out on Tuesdays. You know it. It is our favorites.
This hand can't do jazz hands.
Beautiful. And in case this is your first episode watching us, we like to talk about a director, a genre, a collection of movies.
Or other things.
Or other things. We just like to talk about our favorites. And today, we're going to be dribbling down the court and swooshing all those balls because it is basketball time, baby.
Again, we apologize for him.
Oh, come on. That was good. But I am very excited to get into our basketball picks. So, Jared, out of all the basketball, the dribbling, the shooting, the slam dunking, what's your pick today?
My favorite basketball movie of all time is Hoosiers.
Woo!
From 1986, I believe.
It's as old as me.
Hey!
Hey!
I have to be honest. I've never seen it.
Is it in black and white?
Yeah, it's back in the old days, so it's in black and white.
Sound.
Whoa!
Let's see. The first sound movie is in 1927, technically. So, yeah, about 59 years after sound, they finally put it in a back.
They finally...
No, it's not.
Wait, you said it was 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
86.
59 years after 1927.
Oh.
Math is hard. Don't worry. I agree with you. But, Jared, do elaborate. Why is this your favorite movie?
It is a childhood favorite of mine. It sets that formula for how sports movies have worked since. It's one of those things where with any kind of formula, it's not just one movie. It tends to... sometimes, but it tends to be a bunch of movies with similar formulas kind of form that. Where in this case, it's like, yeah, this is kind of what sports movies are, even though they've deviated from that in many ways now, but it's pretty straightforward. It's predictable, but it's one of those things that it's hard to lean into cliches when you're the one kind of setting them or reestablishing, because there are basketball movies before Hoosiers, but yeah, it takes place in Indiana. It's based off a true story. I don't remember the real high school's name in the movie. It's Hickory. The Hickory Huskers. Tiny, itty bitty school.
Sounds like such an Indiana name.
Yep. I can't remember the real. It's based off a team in the 50s that, because in Indiana you didn't have different school classes, you'd all play in the tournament. So it's this tiny little town won the championship in the 50s over this like South Bend school. Like cute, like school, like 5 times their size. So it's one of those, and the main character is Gene Hackman.
Nice. I didn't know.
Playing their coach. Dennis Hopper's in it. It's one of his... Is it his... No, he has another, I think, maybe. At least the only acting nomination I can think of that he had. But it was funny because he always said he got nominated for the wrong movie that year because that's the same year as Blue Velvet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, I love him in Hoosiers, but Blue Velvet, that's like one of the most terrifying movie villains ever.
Probably I've not seen either, but I'm assuming
the only
very
thing more
different.
terrifying than Dennis Hopper in Blue Velvet is Dennis Hopper. Not to talk about Blue Velvet, but when he looks at this character, this awful person, and says to David Lynch, like, you have to cast me as Frank. I am Frank. And I'm thinking, that's not a good thing. But in this movie, he plays a father of one of the players who's a drunkard who tries to get clean to be one of the assistant coaches. And he is good. It's more of the Oscar Beatty role than his Blue Velvet role. So it makes sense why it happened.
The only thing I can think of when I think about Blue Velvet and Dennis Hopper is the oxygen machine every time.
Yeah. Frank Booth. I know. Yeah. And it's I think Barbara Hershey is the female lead in the movie. I'm trying to think of any other people that are recognizable. That's kind of it for the big names. And it's got this older look to it because like the town, it takes place in the 50s. The town is small. It's got this nostalgic look, but it's funny because the score is 100% 80s sounding. And I hate the 80s, but I love this score. I don't know why. It's just the childhood nostalgia.
Is it like synth Bobby and all that kind of stuff? Like,
yeah, I'll play you a clip after we're done filming.
Okay.
Because it's like you listen to it, you go, yeah, that's 80s. But it doesn't sound like dumb bubblegum 80s. It just sounds like 80s. And I like it. And it's because of the nostalgia it brings up. Because the opening scenes are Gene Hackman driving through the country because he's taking this job because, you know, he had to be a teacher, to be a coach back in the day. I don't know if they still do that.
Mhm.
But it's just him driving out to this remote, tiny little farm town, and the score is playing. It sets up the mood perfect. And the basketball scenes are really well shot, and you have all the cliches and tropes in it, but it's just, there's something about it. You've seen Ted Lasso,
Oh, absolutely.
and that scene where he's trying to, I was talking to you about this, where the pitches are different sizes, but in the Ted's like, yeah, you see this field? It's the same size as our field back in Richmond. They're like, actually not, it's bigger.
Yeah.
Well, this is the same field as Wembley. It was the same field Freddie Mercury's on for life. Actually, that's old Wembley, and that was even bigger.
Yeah.
What he's doing in that scene, he's doing the Gene Hackman speech from Hoosiers, where he's telling them before the championship, they're in the empty gym. He's like, you see this giant gym? The court's the same size as ours back in Hickory. Like, that's the whole point of the scene. And when that happened in Ted Lasso, I was like, that's good.
That's cool.
That's fun. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's the thing about this movie. It brings up this nostalgia for a place and time I was never even near. This takes place 40 years before we were born.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you know, the
interesting.
movie came out the year you were born, and it has nothing to do with me and my childhood outside of just watching it as a kid and loving it, because basketball movies are really fun.
Yeah,
They can get really stupid, or they can be one of the greatest movies ever made, like Rebound.
Or like Mike.
I've never seen it. I own it on VHS, though.
I like Mike. Jake, you just like
Mike.
the glass in my brain just shattered because I forgot about that movie.
They did a
but-
How I Met Your Mother to him.
Oh my god. But okay, so Jay, really quick, can't explain to you why I thought Hoosiers was a comedy.
No,
I don't know.
think there's that many funny parts.
Well,
Is it
that's
because
what.
it's got a funny name?
That's got to be the only reason. Is maybe I thought I walked past like back in the Blockbuster days. Okay, I thought I walked past like the disc for Hoosiers, and it had like a silly, goofy thing on the front, and that's why I thought it was a comedy.
The only thing I can think of is you walk past like Yoga Hosers.
That's it must have been a drastically different movie that I saw.
To be fair, a lot of sports movies from that era are also comedies and funny.
To be fair, a lot of sports movies are just straight up comedy.
Well, and if I remember the cover of my VHS copy of Hoosiers, actually my dad's. You didn't see it when we were cataloging my movies. I know.
I think I have the same thing.
It's like a court, and it's got like a shoe on its side.
It's not the court. It's it's an outside court, and you're in like a farm window, right?
Yeah.
And the shoes and the ball are in the corner. Yup.
I can see where you would get comedy from that.
Okay, because yeah, that's kind of what I pictured. Because I couldn't tell you why. It was the name, and I remember just like a brief image in my mind from like Blockbuster. I'm like, that seems like it's a funny movie, but it's obviously
There's a scene I do like where Gene Hackman and Barbara Hershey are talking in a classroom, and one of the players is Jimmy, and he's like the best basketball player in the area, but he doesn't start the season.
okay.
I can't remember why. I think it's something to do with like his dad died or something. And he was not going to, or Barbara Hershey's taking care of him, didn't want him to play. But he's outside in the background shooting hoops, and he's making every single one, I think. No, he is outside. I'm thinking of the wrong scene. Gene Hackman's talking to him outside. It's been a while. I should have watched it in prep, but I had a busy week. Gene Hackman's talking to him in one scene saying, like, I just want you to know, I don't care whether you play or not. That's up to you. And he's making shot after shot after shot. And then when he walks away, he finally misses. I go, man, the concentration to keep making those. And they did say, like, he nailed it every take, or the first take, he nailed it. Like, he's making them all, and he accidentally missed the last shot.
That's wild. Because I was about to ask you, like, that's got to be in, like, especially with basketball, like, unless you get creative with the way you shoot it, like, you actually have to have people that know what they're doing to make all the shots. That, like, I feel like that would just be a tricky part about filming that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I have a friend of mine who hates it
Ooh.
with a burning passion, and he's never told me why.
just got a thing against it.
Is this the same friend that? I'm trying to think of a way to say it without giving it away.
The
one that hates Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same one.
Okay.
He hates Hoosiers.
So he just hates good fun.
I'm not going to comment. There's a whole...
There's a whole backstory.
There's a
It
whole
goes
thing.
all anime for about 30 minutes. And Jared transforms into who knows what.
God. Well, cool. That's good to know. Honestly, I've never seen it. I'm gonna bump it up on my list because I want to watch it now.
The list that you never do,
Yes.
you just
I
jump
mean-
on a new TV show, but not Chernobyl every week.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
my Blu-ray copy of Belfast made it into his DVD player.
It did.
I think it's been there for 3 weeks now.
Well, at least you know where it is.
Oh, I can tell you exactly where it is. It's sitting right there on my TV stand. I can picture it right now. It's not going anywhere. But
I probably would have watched it again had we not had it.
Yeah, you
But anyway, we're not talking about Belfast. Now we get to talk about my turn. And
Well, let's talk about your turn. Not your movie, but your turn.
and it's an icon.
That it
It's
is.
a classic.
I have to admit, I do
It's
love this one.
A highly, highly rated. Probably the best out of all the whole series. Yes, I picked one of a series in case you guys can't pick up on it because it's pretty vague. Air Bud, baby. Air flippin' Bud
Yeet.
is my pick for the best basketball movie. And it is that for multiple reasons. Okay. Reason number one. This is God, how old was I when I watched this? I had to be maybe like, roughly remember when it came out? I want to get a
I
quick
wanna say
fact
like
check
96.
to...
I want to say like 94.
Okay, so
96.
it was obviously in
97.
the 90s. So I was probably saw this like when I was like around like 8 or 9 years old. And I'm like, oh my God, this makes me want to play basketball. Oh my God, this makes me want a dog. And oh my God, this makes me afraid of clowns.
That's fair.
Michael Cheater's the best part of the movie. That's not even a joke.
Like,
He's 100% committed
like
to playing
honest to God, like this, I think this is the movie that really stuck it that I don't like clowns, especially after they're being mean to Air Bud.
Don't.
Like, wasn't he being mean to him, or was he?
Oh no, yeah, he's definitely an abusive dog owner.
Yeah.
It's because he does the thing, and it's part of the act.
Yeah, yeah, but still, that whole thing and made me just like, okay,
It is funny how a movie that's apparently a basketball movie doesn't have a ton of basketball, and it ends with a courtroom case in which
I was just thinking
they
that.
somehow.
You're right, it did end with
now, let me preface this by saying we don't want Buddy to go back to Michael Jeter because Michael Jeter's abusive.
yeah,
But in a court of law like that, when there's no witnesses to the abuse, Michael Jeter would win that easily because he has legal ownership of the dog. But they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we have to let the dog decide. It's like, and what is this movie?
it's movie law. It's not real.
Wasn't it the like first movie? Maybe not the first movie, but definitely one of the first ones I remember where it's like. Dogs can't play basketball. Oh, well.
Oh yes, they can.
There's no rule that says they can't.
Yeah, it's that chubby ref like, well, there's no rule saying that dogs can't play basketball. That's the stupidest thing. And they straight up ripped that off in Turbo.
Yeah,
They literally just said nothing such snails can't race. They're not even being transparent about it.
Which wouldn't even work because you'd have to throw the dog the ball and then
Yeah, he's like,
But
well, I guess I have to
but
throw
that's-
it. I'm like, that's not fair.
That's how it works though with anybody.
I
You
guess
get the
it's
ball to other people by passing it. Like you have to pass the ball for someone else to shoot. You have to throw the ball to the
yeah, but
dog
the
for
dog
him.
is so much lower that it'd be easy to just come and
That is true.
And dogs, I'm telling you, dogs don't have that attention span, especially not golden.
That's a very,
I'm
very good
telling you,
point.
I'm telling you, I've gone through 4 of those things now. They don't
That
have the attention span.
is
Oh, you
very,
have a young one too.
Yeah, that's fair.
very good point. Realistically, Golden Retrievers, if you're just like, we're going to play basketball for like 3 seconds, person, and then just run somewhere else.
Well, also,
But you're right. It is a very fun. It's similar to Star Wars. Everybody's stupid, and I love it.
It's like,
stupid.
it's
and I
so,
love it.
it's-
It's way more boring than I remember. Well, one when you think back, it's like, oh, a dog played basketball. He only plays in the last game.
well, no,
Because all he does is the halftime show.
They had like a little training sequence where he was throwing the ball and he
Yeah.
goes, poof.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
It
like,
just-
he doesn't play that much. He plays the last game of the season. They go through the whole season without playing with us. They're like, oh, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like you don't, because all the other movies are, oh, Buddy joins the team and they start winning. No, this one is literally like he fills in at the.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's what I was gonna say. The series gets increasingly just absurd, and it makes it better. But that first one just has that nostalgia hit for it.
Really quickly, you mentioned the series. Now I have to mention one of the funniest scenes throughout any of the Air Bud series. It wasn't the vlog, no, which is great. But to me, it was remember the football one? Did you guys ever watch the football one?
Golden Receiver?
Golden Receiver! Where they tackle the dog, and everyone's like, oh my god, you tackled the dog! They were all freaking out like they're playing football!
Don't forget the seventh inning fetch.
Oh,
At least in the trailer, it's like, Buddy's going to, this random chubby dude goes, oh, look, they're putting their butt in.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the way the battery holds it, goes like that. It's like, what happened? This started as just a movie about a kid and his dog. Now the dog is like.
Now I got myself thinking about it though. For Golden Receiver, for that dog to properly catch a football, they'd have had to deflate it.
Yup.
Yeah.
I wonder if they hired Tom Brady for that.
That's good. Oh my
man.
god. Honestly, I want to go back to whoever had the first idea of putting a dog in basketball.
I mean, it's a fun idea.
It is. It's so simple. And especially in the first movie when you weren't going crazy and he's out there like playing every other which sport. Like this one is more focused. It's just a boy and his dog, which is really the crux of the story. And then they just obviously at the end they bring in basketball.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, there's some kind of drama between he and his mom and his.
I thought
their dad just died.
Yeah,
that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah,
because I remember he was really down. Like he like the kid was just really sad, and then
the story is more about the dog helping him get through that than it is anything else.
Yes, it is,
which makes it nice, and then obviously goes off the rails with
seventh inning fetch.
I remember it's not the most. Because it's a kid's sports dumb movie, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the most nuanced when it comes to that stuff. You don't have to be like super nuanced and complex about that, but it's very, very simplistic about him dealing with it. It's like when you watch it, you're like, this isn't like funny bad. This is just kind of like boring bad.
Similar to King Arthur's Court.
Yeah, that had more character than this movie. I can't believe I'm saying
what?
It did. This movie is very bland in its presentation.
What?
By the next couple movies, it gets crazy. This movie you need to watch it again.
Maybe
it's way tamer than the other movies in the series.
Oh, I know it's tamer, but I
just think there's not a ton of character compared to
all
Kid
of
and
this
King
is
Court.
all of what I'm thinking is through my brain that saw this movie like several years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember it being more, because obviously, like I just said, it's just this movie more than the other one is just about a boy and his dog getting through life. I thought this one had more heart in it than the other ones did. But I guess when
I would believe that because I feel like the other ones lean on crazy.
Well, that's
like
what I was
this
gonna
more than the others, but it's still like.
Well, I feel like the other ones kind of like Fast and Furious did. Like they just took this simple premise and they just went off the rails. Okay, they didn't go to.
They do
Space Buddies.
Wait, they're
serious?
in space.
Oh my god! we figured it out. Air Bud did it first before Fast and Furious.
The MVP movies are in there. All the Buddies movies are in there. There's like 25 movies. It's the ABCU, the Air Bud Cinematic Universe.
When are we going to do a long form podcast on those?
I don't want to watch 9 Buddies movies.
You watched 13 Land Before Time, 14 Land Before Time
movies. To be fair,
movies.
the first 7 are fantastic.
7?
Yes.
Air Bud, Golden Receiver.
No. I was saying the first 7 Land Before Times are fantastic.
7?
Yes.
Land Before Time 2, maybe Land Before Time 3 if you're lucky.
Okay, we don't need to get into that conversation, but for someone who watched them all, the first 6 are the ones I grew up with, and the first one and like the 4th and 5th ones are the watchable ones.
Not the second one with Chopper? I love Chopper.
I love the second one with Chopper.
The 5th one with Chopper is better.
Okay.
He does talk, but he's actually quite adorable. And the songs are better.
He's quite adorable in the first one.
I love him.
But then, like, the 9th movie is also very good. And then the rest are great.
To be fair, I haven't seen anything past 7.
Movie and you realize what you're doing with your life.
No, you hit that last movie and you're like, wait, Reba's in this now?
Reba's in it? Oh my god.
It's not the worst movie, but
Isn't Reba in Air Bud movies too?
I don't know.
Legitimately, I think she is.
Reba in Air Bud movies?
It's either Reba or there's another crap. I feel like she's in a lot of
McGraw?
no. She's in like a lot of she's in a lot of Disney movies. She usually plays the grandma. She has red hair.
Debbie Reynolds.
It's not
Dolly Parton.
Crap, I can't remember. I can
It's
see
hard
her
to identify
face.
a woman by the color of her hair because it can change so quickly.
I realize that, but and I'm 90% sure that she popped up in some of the later Air Bud movies, not the first one, but she's like in a lot of like Disney. She's like usually the grandma, and it's wholesome. But anyway,
What's that girl in 3 Billboards? Frances McDormand. There you go. That's the one.
McDormand.
Yes.
McDormand.
McDormand is a volcano, idiot.
It's a fast food volcano.
Oh, I'm dead. But yeah, okay, that's all I got. Well, actually, wait, I'm trying to think if I missed anything that I wanted to say.
I said all I wanted to say.
I said all that.
Yeah, no, I think I got it all out.
I do like that movie though.
It's
as much as we're dogging on it, I do
it's
enjoy it.
Well, that's what I say. And I know, Jared, I know you said on a recent watch it doesn't hold up as much, but in my head, there's so much nostalgia and heart there.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it would hold up for you better than it does for him.
That's valid. And so, Jake, I'm dying to know, what is your favorite pick?
Well, okay, so real quick, before I tell you my pick, I want to tell you some exciting news that I figured out this week.
Oh?
There is a sequel to A Kid in King Arthur's Court.
Oh.
It is
God.
a kid in Aladdin's palace.
I did know that.
Genie sucks him down through the lamp out of a pizza parlor.
Oh my God.
Anyway, now that I have all of your attentions, my favorite basketball movie has got to be Space Jam.
Yeah.
And you know what? Space Jam is stupid. And I love it.
And it's awesome.
I was so dang obsessed with this movie when I was a kid. I saw it in theaters twice. It's the only one as a kid I saw more than once in theaters. I had that basketball that you got from, oh gosh, was it Burger King or something? You wouldn't know.
I was 2.
No.
Dickie was 1.
Wait, yeah.
1996.
Yep. It's just a black basketball. It was my favorite basketball.
Was it black and green? Or am I thinking of something else?
Oh no, it was black and it had the Space Jam logo thing on it.
Ooh.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I still have it. It's flat now, but
Just pump it up.
I don't know. It's probably got a hole in it.
Just pump up the jam.
That movie has one of the sickest soundtracks you will ever meet.
Oh my God.
And I believe I saw this before Roger Rabbit, so this was the first kind of association I had with both 2D animation mixed with reality.
Mm-hmm.
And let's talk
It's
about
called hybrid movie.
What?
The term I think is a hybrid movie.
Okay,
Huh. Good to know.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like a Chip and Dale sort of movie.
Yeah. I think Mary Poppins was the first like big one.
That makes sense. This was my first association with it, though. Let's talk about that cast. Michael Jordan.
Man, Bill Murray.
Bill
Bill Murray is in this.
who is Newman? What's his name?
Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That guy. All the basketball stars like Muggsy Bogues, Patrick Ewing,
Yeah, they had Charles Barkley.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird was
He
in
was
this?
Charles
playing.
Barkley too.
Yeah, Larry Bird wasn't playing, and he was retired by then. But then, like
That's right.
Sean Bradley and Larry Johnson are the other two.
I
Their power stolen.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Charles Barkley was in this too. It's just so.
I don't.
Are you having problems performing in other areas?
No.
And it's so funny that to this day on what is it called? The thing him and Shaq and the other guys are on for the NBA.
The TNT one?
Yeah, where Shaq will just bully him nonstop about Space Jam.
Honestly,
so funny.
it's so like Charles Barkley is slowly becoming one of my favorite commentators because he's just so ridiculous and stupid, and it's so much fun to make fun of.
Mispronunciations, the weird predictions, and then just Shaq dogging. I'm like, you never won a title. It's okay. I know you don't know what that's like. I was like, no, he's not holding back.
It's so good. It all stemmed from him being in Space Jam. God, that movie is gold. Come on and slam.
It's so
and welcome to
much
the jam.
fun
Come
in
on,
so many
slam.
ways, and of course, it was the movie to give a bunch of little dudes a lot of weird feelings.
Here we
Jake,
go.
do explain. What weird feelings are you referring to?
Well, gee, I don't know. Gee,
There's a lot of
What are
confused-
those?
A lot of confused
Feelings?
teenagers coming out of
No.
this one. What did you say?
What are those?
God. Well, thank God they didn't animate Lola as bad as they did in that one. In the new one.
It's funny because I actually
that
did,
was
like, I enjoyed the Lola character in that new one, but like that whole like
what?
transition to
She wasn't animated as
no, she's just entertaining.
Yeah.
Was it Zendaya or something?
Wait, what? Was Zendaya Lola?
In the
Not in the
second
first one.
No, in the second one. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I don't know if Zendaya was alive in the first one.
Zendaya's like, I think she was a 95er like me, so I think she's.
So maybe like an infant.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie has no right to be as good as it is. I don't even know that good is the right word.
I'll be real honest, Jake. I adore this movie as much as you do. On rewatch.
Well, look at the concept.
But doesn't
outside.
it just feel warm?
It feels warm, and then you're watching, you're just like, this isn't
My
as
critical
good
brain doesn't want to remember this.
But look at the concept. It's like, okay, the Looney Tunes are gonna get captured by aliens, so they get Michael Jordan to help them play the aliens who stole NBA players' basketball powers.
Exactly how many drugs were the producers on when they wrote this?
All of them. They just ate too many Wheaties. Except the Wheaties were made out of weed.
Wheaties.
We're literally waiting.
And then did either of you guys watch The Last Dance? Whoa! That was
I
a
think
terrifying
you're
image.
right.
But I
I'm
do
sorry, I'm
enjoy
still a
how
little
Space Jam made fun of his baseball career.
Oh, it made
Which-
fun of his golfing career too a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, the funny thing is,
And then Newman I don't know his name. Wayne Knight.
I know Newman. I always think, yeah.
what's his name in the movie?
Digging out the golf hole.
Stan.
Oh,
the name of the movie.
yeah. Digging out
Michael!
Michael.
digging out the golf
I still like that he takes the picture, Michael's gone, and then Bill Murray's like, don't point that thing at me. Where'd he go? What did you do? I was going to say about the baseball career, though, when you look at his numbers, he was not a bad baseball player. He wasn't great, but he stole a lot of bases,
Well,
and
sure.
he hit above 200 for someone who's breaking straight into Double-A, like not even coming through the system.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 3 levels before Double-A, and he's hitting over 200 and stealing like 20, 30 bases.
Well,
Like,
sure, because he's fast from. He's just played basketball for his whole life. Of course, he's
Which,
fast.
if you watch Last Dance, is a completely different set of muscles that you're using, and he had to recondition when he switched first and then back.
Mhm.
And I didn't know that because I thought, oh, he's a professional athlete. Then like, no, you have to condition differently.
Yeah.
And I've seen videos where it's like he wasn't a great baseball player, but he wasn't bad. And I'm like, huh?
Well, I mean,
'Cause
sure,
grew up
obviously
with
he-
Space Jam telling me, oh, he's terrible
Yeah.
because he struck out once in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I could have used that as my baseball movie.
Yeah. For like the 10 seconds of baseball that was in this.
There's more baseball in that than there is a kid in King Arthur's court. I remember when I was a kid and unable to critically think, thinking that the first scene with him and his dad, the little kid, little Michael and his dad,
Yep.
was like an actual event that happened. Not that it was like filmed or anything, but just like that it was an actual like story.
Obviously. Well, honestly, that first scene is what cemented the crap. Who sings "I Believe I Can Fly" in the?
The R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was R. Kelly or not.
Yeah, I think it is.
But just like, but ever since then, I always love that. I believe I can fly. Oh, it's a classic.
Got arrested by the FBI.
Yeah, you're at the end. All I wanted was some chicken wings from McDonald's or Burger King.
We're gonna stop.
Yes, I love the way that this is animated, especially since it was different than what was on TV for the Looney Tunes. That's what really caught me. It was a lot different.
Yeah, they animated the characters way better than the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously it's TV versus movie, but
a little more budget. But
also in that first scene,
and Danny DeVito is the boss alien.
Oh my god, I forgot Danny DeVito.
Mr. Swackhammer.
It fits so well too.
I love it so much. I know it's not good, but I love it.
So really quick, I have to mention that second one.
We don't talk about.
We're just not gonna mention it.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't need to compare them.
There's no comparison.
There's
That's why.
I mean, the second one is basically a continuation of the first one. It's like no quality change whatsoever.
Oh.
No, it's worse.
I'm sorry. I think I just hacked up some bullcrap there.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Oh my god,
Cartoon.
Oh, cartoon. Hey, all your work takes place between these 4 lines. What a terrible dad.
It really was a terrible dad.
Terrible. I don't blame that kid.
No.
And also, Michael won this game for them.
Yeah, he actually
LeBron
won.
did not win that game for the second one.
Wiley
Wiley did. Yeah. Wiley won
Also,
that game.
And again, not to talk about a new legacy, but at least we understand what the game is and how it scores.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make it a video game? Sure. Have
Define
all the
the
properties,
rules.
whatever, sure. But there are no rules. There are no rules. They just do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And it kept going.
It was long.
2 hours.
It was rough.
This was 88 minutes. Wow, even shorter than I thought.
One of the very few movies I've ever seen that has ruined Don Cheadle.
That's fair.
I love him.
Right?
Why did he pick that movie?
I don't know, man. Well, you got anything else you want to mention about the better Space Jam and not this crap new one? Because Space Jam always just there's only one Space Jam, right? There's
only one Space Jam.
No, yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you everybody for listening to our show today. Jared, the good people that are listening and watching us, if they want to follow us on social media, where can they find us?
Oh, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube. Please subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell. Stitcher, Google, and Apple Podcasts. But if you want something funny like the first Space Jam movie, you go to our funny TikTok.
Oh, you know what is a real slam dunk?
Oh,
A slam dunk. A slam dunk of what? What do you think it's a slam dunk of?
Comedy.
What do you think that is?
Our TikTok.
Yeah!
You say you think your TikTok is funny one time. They never let you forget it. But
Never.
Never.
Not.
But thank you all for listening to us. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes this week. More episodes coming up next week. We're putting out a bunch of fun stuff and we're having fun here. So from all of us at Off Slate Media, thank you so much for listening and watching. Stay tuned and we will see you later. Woo.